Marta's just on the other side of this door. However this goes, we're going to have to move quickly afterwards. If she dies, Hera will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that? Crystal, let's do this. The woman in this room is lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine elvish features, and a tumble of fire red hair spills down over her shoulders. Beyond her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Hera used to draw her and so many others to Fierstel. She looks up with a start at the sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at the sight of Glory as she takes in her cyberware. Her mouth falls open in horror. Glory? Yes, Marta, it's me. Glory's voice is cold. It's been a long time. It has. Marta swallows. The horrified look hasn't left her face. Glory, what have you done to yourself? What I had to do. I got out, Marta. This was the only way. Oh, Glory. All at once, the horror on Marta's face is replaced with an expression of profound sorrow. I'm so sorry. Marta steps forward, her arms extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws into a defensive posture. Her voice frosts over with rage. Don't you touch me. You're one of Harrow's creatures. You always were. Marta stops short. One of his creatures? Glory, what are you talking about? Keep your cool, Glory. This isn't like you. Look at me, Afer. Take a good long look. I was forced to sacrifice my own body in order to escape from this place, to hack away what made me human, and she's the one who brought me here. Maybe so, but at the end of the day, it was your decision to come here. Nobody held a gun to your head. She grinds her teeth, but says nothing. Eventually, she nods. You're right, of course. It was my choice. But that doesn't change what she is, or what she did to me. If she hadn't found me, hadn't baited me here, none of this would have happened. None of what? I haven't done anything. If you just left me where you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship, and I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you. She looks genuinely hurt. Hera, when I rescued you from a life on the street, a beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in a gutter, I pulled you away from all of that. I saved you. There is a long pause. Glory stares into Marta's eyes, her expression unreadable. I don't feel much anymore, Marta. Most of the time, I'm completely numb. But for you, I can make an exception. I hate you. I'm sorry that you feel that way, Glory. For my part, I still love you. The razors flick out of Glory's fingertips. Her lips curl into a snarl. Another lie. The last one you'll ever tell. I don't think she's lying, or at least she doesn't think so. She believes what she's saying. That's because it's true. I'll prove it to you. The words come stammering out of her. Her eyes are fixed on Glory's razors. Ask me anything you want. I'll show you that I'm telling you the truth. I never wanted anything bad to happen to you, Glory. Not ever. She wheels to face you. Why are you listening to her? She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's her whole purpose here, remember? She's bait. Why should we listen to anything she has to say? The cultists aren't responsible for their actions, remember? This is as true for Marta as it is for anyone else. She was here long before I was, before Hera started using the shrine. She made her own decisions just like I did. No excuses. She's here because she wants to be. She brought me here because she wanted to. Her choice. That might have been true then, but she's been living under the shrine's influence for a long time now. She's no more in control of herself than anyone else here is. Maybe she's been compelled to lie to us. I'll accept that. It doesn't mean that we should trust her. She fidgets in agitation. We're wasting time and we need that key. If Harrow gets back here before we've dealt with that shrine, we're fucked. I didn't turn my back on you, Glory. You shouldn't turn your back on her. Glory stares at you for a moment, naked hostility in her face. Then the razors slide back into their housings with a click. All right, Marta. Convince me. Convince you of what? That I'm not a monster? I don't know how to do that, Glory. You can start by telling me how you sleep at night. You know what happens to the kids that you bring here. You know what happened to me. But you're still luring them here into Harrow's clutches all those years later. So tell me, how do you live with yourself? Explain it to me. For a moment, you can see the conflict behind Marta's eyes. If cognitive dissonance had a face, it would be hers, confused, frightened, angry, at war with herself. For a moment, she struggles to speak. Then the whispering sensation that you felt outside of the compound comes back and her face changes. The muscles of her brow relax, and she appears to be at peace. Why are you asking me this, Gloria? You already know the answers. The kids here, they aren't being hurt. They're walking the path to a free and pure life, just like Harrow taught us. I haven't even been in Feuerstel for an hour, Marta. In that time, I found evidence of horrifying levels of abuse. She flinches in agitation, but you can hear the whispering again, and she calms herself. Her joyful smile widens. Nothing that happens here is without reason. Harrow was a great man, a prophet. When you meet him for yourself, you understand. He'll make you see. She's too far gone to parse what you're saying, Aether. After so many years living here, I don't know if she even knows what normal feels like anymore. She steps forward and grabs Marta by the shoulders. It is a curiously soft gesture. Marta, if what you're saying is true, if you ever really did care for me, then please give me your key. It's important. She blinks. Key? Whatever you used to get past the wards outside of Harrow's shrine. I need it. Don't ask why. Just do this for me. You owe me that much. She looks momentarily conflicted. Then the moment passes. No, Harrow said that I had to guard this. He told me that I could never take it off. I can't question one of Harrow's orders. It would be wrong. You questioned him about what he's planning on doing with those initiates back there. Was that wrong? That's different. She blinks, then the whispering sound returns, soft and insistent, and the flicker of unease on her face is replaced with an easy smile. You wouldn't understand. Then maybe you could explain it to me. Maybe if you could answer my questions, I'd be able to see the light. She nods eagerly. Yes, please go on and ask your questions. I'll explain everything, and you'll see for yourself how perfect and right our way really is, how beautiful it can be. I've read Harrow's manifesto. It looks like he spends a long time talking about charity. She nods eagerly. Yes, of course, charity, the kind that I practice when I rescue young people from the streets. But then in his rules of living, he says that all free thinkers are supposed to be selfish. Well, yes, but, and after that, he says that only the strong deserve to prosper. So, which is it? Marta blinks. She looks momentarily confused, and then you see the conviction clamp down behind her eyes. You just don't understand the beauty of his message, the truth behind it. Harrow is hurting the runaways that you bring here. You can see that, can't you? Her smile shifts into an expression of mock concern. Hurting? How so? He's going to take the initiates, the young initiates, like the girl in the next room, do something horrible. Her smile slowly fades. That girl, such a sweet young thing. I rescued her from a bad place, Glory. Her and the boys in that dorm as well. But they're all safe now, and isn't that what's important? Are they? You know what I'm talking about, Marta. The harvesting, the meat. The confusion washes over her face again. She begins blinking agitatedly and fidgeting. Then that unseen force clamps down again and she seems to calm. It's regrettable, but it happens for a good reason. The sacrifices keep us safe here, and safety is something that a lot of these kids have never known. The initiates have to learn how things are done here. Harrow told us so. That's what it all boils down to, doesn't it? It has to be that way because he says it does. He's a great man. He would never hurt us, whatever you say. You're taking everything out of context. You don't understand. He's corrupting you all. How many of them has he taken as his wives, yourself included? She rolls her eyes. A lesson in Puritan values from a Shadowrunner. How quaint. This isn't about you. I don't care what you do, Marta. I'm talking about child abuse. Harrow doesn't take the young ones for wives. I don't know what Glory's told you, but he isn't a monster, and even the youngest initiates here aren't children. Not really. Her voice goes soft. Life on the street took that from them a long time ago. Feuerstel lets them be themselves, but in a safe place. Certainly safer than the back alleys of some urban hellhole like the one that you live in. I was young when he chose me, Marta. Maybe not innocent, but young. Somewhere deep down, you know that this is wrong. When you lived with us, you didn't think it was wrong. You loved it here. You can rewrite history to cast yourself as a victim if you want to. If demonizing me helps, you can do that too. But nobody ever forced you to do anything, Glory. Glory falls silent. The color drains from her face. This is clearly a difficult subject. I don't know what you were hoping to achieve by bringing it up, but I promise you aren't going to convince me to abandon my way of life. Our ways are here are our own. You can't change that. All that you can do is accept it and move on. There is a thing called grooming, Marta. I can see that Harrow has you brainwashed into thinking that this is okay, but Marta, it isn't. You just don't know when to give up, do you? Our ways aren't yours, but that doesn't give you the right to judge us. Who are you to impose your ideology on this commune? An outsider, someone who hasn't been corrupted by Harrow or his pet spirit, I say that qualifies me to offer an opinion. I'll tell you what you are. You're the kind of person that Harrow has warned us about. Your sense of moral outrage doesn't trump our right to live the way that we choose. She takes a deep breath and struggles to calm herself. If you have more accusations to hurl at my husband, go ahead and do it. I'll tell you how wrong you are. I prefer to keep this conversation civil, but that's up to you. Harrow is evil. You get that, right? I mean, he worships the devil. What else do you need? The smile dies on Marta's face. I don't know what Glory told you, but the adversary isn't the devil. Calling him that, reducing him to a cartoonish embodiment of evil, is an insult. The adversary that I revere is the personification of rebellion, conflict, and change, of anarchy. The fact that you live in Berlin but hold the adversary in contempt proves one of two things. Either you're ignorant or you're a hypocrite. From what I've seen here tonight, Glory was right on the mark when she said the adversary was evil. If anyone here is ignorant, is you. Maybe the adversary isn't evil, but Harrow's interpretation of him certainly is. Her lips curl into a sneer. Harrow warned us about this kind of backward thinking, but I wasn't expecting to hear it from you. I'd always assumed that you Shadowrunners were savvy enough to know that good and evil don't exist. 9 times out of 10, I'd agree with you, but Marta, the adversary, is a special case. Somewhere deep down, you must know that. Marta sighs and her voice takes on a condescending tone. I don't have to believe anything that you tell me. You don't get to dictate my spiritual beliefs. The fact that you're even trying is sad, Glory. I expected more from you. I'm done with this. If you want to go on slandering the idol that I serve, do it somewhere else. As for you, you can either change the subject or you can get ready for a fight. I won't hear any more of your blasphemy. Give us the amulet, Marta. It's the right thing to do. Oh yes, she nods eagerly. I'll give it to you. She fishes the amulet out of her blouse. It dangles on a golden chain glinting in the firelight. Here, it's all yours. Put it on the floor and step back. I don't trust you. All right, fine. If that's how you want this to go, then so be it. She swings the amulet on its chain. If you want this, you're going to have to kill me for it. Glory shifts into an attack posture. When she speaks, her voice is unsteady. I'm sorry that it came to this, Marta, but you're too far gone to save. If what you want is a fight, we'll give you one. I didn't want this, Glory. I wish that we could have come out of this friends. But you haven't convinced me of anything, and I made a promise to protect this way with my life. Best of luck with that. I won't need luck, outsider. Harrow, my husband, taught me how. She stares at Glory, and her eyes are sad. She raises her hands. They begin to glow. See for yourself. That's unfortunate. Glory stands staring at the red ruin of Marta's body. Her eyes flit down to her claws, and an expression of growing horror creeps across her face. You okay, Glory? It takes her a long time to respond. Her voice is choked with a long, dormant emotion. No, I'm not. I'm sorry, but it had to be done. She snarls out in answer. Her face has flushed red. Yes, I know. She was just as bad as Harrow. Killing her was the right thing to do. To your astonishment, you see their eyes are welling with tears. Glory. All at once, the blood drains from her cheeks. She wipes the water from her eyes with a cold metal hand. She saved the consolation speech. I'm over it. Her voice is frigid, dead. She nods in the direction of the shrine room door. We got what we came here for. Let's go finish this. You monster, you killed Marta. It couldn't be helped. Harrow's gonna get you. You'll see. Okay. As you step forward, the scintillating red light that streamed from the doorway flickers and dies. There is a strange lurching sensation in your gut, but it clears almost instantly. The door swings open with a touch. That seems to have done it. Glory nods, then reaches into her satchel. Her hand comes back out, clutching a small jar. I'm going to put a smear of this on your forehead. It's a sort of alchemical balm. Her voice goes quiet. Harrow taught me how to make it. She unscrews the cap from the jar, revealing a pale white ointment. The surface glitters strangely in the dim light. If you ever wondered where my share of the take from our jobs has gone, this is the answer. Powdered orichalcum isn't cheap. I'm sure that it isn't. Where did you even find a supplier? The talismonger Algernon hooks me up with a contact of his in the Trollkongreich Schwarzland. Don't fucking know. His prices are high, but considering the rarity of the material, they're fair. Thankfully, I didn't need that much of it to make the bomb. She dips a metallic finger into the jar and begins to stir. The boundaries between the material world and the astral plane are weak here. This stuff acts like a lens. It focuses your perceptions, makes the haze real. She applies a smear of ointment on your forehead. It looks like a glob of glittering white paint. With this, we can deal with the spirit on its own level. I'm glad that you came prepared. She dips her finger back into the balm and traces it down your forehead. This ointment feels cool and oily on your skin. I didn't have much of a choice. There's no way that I could pull this off without a chemical assistance. I wouldn't even want to try. She fishes her bag a second time and pulls out a pair of silver necklaces. A rune-inscribed pendant dangles from each. This will protect your astral self from spiritual possession. Don't take it off while we're dealing with the shrine, whatever you do. Got it. Glory puts on her own pendant. The necklace glitters slightly against her pale skin. I don't know what's going to happen when we step inside that room, Aether. We're playing with forces outside of our control. Are you ready to do this? Ready as I'll ever be. Let's go, then. Once we've purified the spirit, we can see about rescuing those kids. Harold will get away, but we can worry about that later. That's the plan. Let's do it. One last thing before we do this. I have reason to suspect that Harold isn't the real power here anymore. I think that the spirit is. Explain. I think that once Harold started using his shrine, he handed the spirit trapped inside of it the keys to the kingdom. The bastard might think that he's in charge here, but he isn't, not anymore. He's a servant, just like everybody else. The only difference is that he doesn't know it. What are you basing this on? What we saw with the initiate and the fridge, what we heard Marta say about the sacrifices, lots of little things, but they add up. Anyway, I'm only bothering you with this because it's solid evidence that we're doing the right thing. Even if Harold does escape, he won't be as much of a threat as we thought he was. I just wanted you to know that. Thanks. Now let's do this. I'm just sad that we had to kill Marta. I wish I could have gotten through to her, but I don't even know if that's an option. Maybe if I had, like, the academic thing, but I don't. As you approach the shrine, a chorus of high, sibilant voices fill the air. The sound is light and airy, but something about it fills you with a bone-deep dread. Welcome home, Glory. Glory's eyes go wide. She opens her mouth to speak, but no sound escapes her. Glory, what? Something slams into you, a wave of intangible force that turns your consciousness inside out and sends shockwaves reverberating through your mind. The world lurches and everything goes black. Fuck. Damn it. Slowly you begin to stir. Murky, flickering impressions invade the oily stillness of your unconscious mind. The sensations come in waves, washing up over you and jerking you back towards consciousness. You smell acrid smoke and burning meat. The roar of distant flames whispers in your ears. When your eyes flutter open, a dull red glare fills your vision. As you attempt to struggle to your feet, you become dimly aware that the gravity here feels wrong. Everything is heavier than it should be. Slowly, the waves grow still and your senses calm. You find yourself staring into an infinite horizon. The blasted ruins of the fierce still stretch out in all directions as far as I can see. Is this astral space? No. Warily, she surveys your surroundings. We're someplace else. You're going to have to be more specific. I don't have answers for you, but there's one thing that I am sure of. Whatever this place is, the adversary holds sway here. If this is the adversary's domain, wouldn't that make this hell? No, she shakes her head. I don't think it's as simple as that. But the spirit we're hunting is going to be here, right? Yes, it should be here somewhere. Fuck. Ow. I'm doing an awful lot of damage against these guys. Damn it. Well, I got him a little bit. Oh damn, he has a lot of movement. Damn it. Excuse you. Well, that was fun. directly hit me, but it still missed. Okay. Excuse you, bitch. Oh, fuck off. Hooray! Only one left now. 34 damage, nice. Damn it. Hooray! Oh, here we go. This kind of feels like that room we were in to begin with. Oh, it's huge. The thing hovering before you is hideous. Its broad chest is jacketed in scale-like patches of burning coal, and its many sets of antlers shimmer with heat. It smells like a barn fire, wood smoke, burning fur, and blackening bodies. The spirit inclines its head toward Glory and spreads its arms in welcome. Glory, welcome, child. It speaks in a chorus of clear, lilting voices. You don't hear them so much as feel them. The sensation is strange, like hundreds of butterflies fluttering in your chest. What a pleasure it is to see you again. Glory steps forward, trepidation on her face. Standing before the towering form of the spirit, she looks frail and small. She takes a deep breath, steels herself, and speaks. I know what you were, spirit, before the adversary twisted you, before Harrow bound you to this rock. She drops a hand to the satchel at her side. I can help you be that again. All you need to do is let me. The spirit chuckles, a strange warbling sound that sends a shiver down your spine. We are not in need of help. We are our great master's servant, just as Harrow is, just as you are, despite your misguided attempt to cut away his love from your heart. The voices in your head soften, become sad, while the fluttering in your chest turns ugly, like the buzzing swings of a swarm of blowflies. You have mangled yourself beyond repair, and you did it to spite him. He was your greatest benefactor. You betrayed him, child, but he loves you all the same. Cut the shit, spirit. We all know what your master's love does to people. Slowly, terribly, the spirit begins to turn. You can hear the crack and pop of splintering vertebrae as its enormous head shifts on its shoulder. Oh, me when I get up in the morning. It fixes its cavernous gaze on you. Your friend, this outsider, slanders our great master, but we take no offense. Her words are like the babble of a newborn babe. She is ignorant of the truth. The spirit inclines its head toward you. If the noise continues, we will teach her, and the babble will cease. Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. She mouths out a word. Don't. I have a message for you from our great master. He has a gift for you, a peace offering, one that he offers freely, a sign of his continued affection for you. He knows that you desire his servant's destruction. As a symbol of his love, he will grant you the power to bring an end to Harrow. He knows that you wish to free the children of Fyrstel. As a sign of his compassion, he will help you set them free. You can have everything that you want, child, all of this and more. What's the catch? The spirit keeps attention fixed on Glory. It claps its hand and leans forward, bowing its head. All that he requires of you is a show of good faith. Remove the protective ward from your neck. His gift is yours for the taking, yours forevermore. I don't think so, spirit. We came here to rescue the children of Fyrstel, and that's what we're going to do. That's right. She dips a hand into her satchel and produces a ceremonial dagger. The blade shimmers eerily in the light. And after we purified you, you're going to help us do it. The spirit cackles. Very well, child. If pain is what you seek, we'll bring it to you. Beneath its leathery skin, the thing's bone begins to shift, straining against the ligaments and tendons that bind them. A hideous cracking sound fills the air as its skeleton splinters and pops. As you watch, the spirit's body begins to rupture. Great lesions open up in the creature's chest and back, and its ribcage cracks from some horrible internal pressure. The spirit's chest heaves, and a foul liquid pours from the rips in its flesh. A flash of light stabs your eyes, and when your vision clears, you find 3 identical spirits floating before you. Death comes in many forms, child. The fluttering sensation in your chest grows into a rasping fade that steals the breath from your lungs. It feels like you're being eaten alive. Yours will be swift and brutal. Damn it! I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to deal with one now. Apparently not. A figure materializes out of shadow. The form is wispy and insubstantial, a projection of a man distorted by distance. His silhouette ripples like a flag in the wind. Through the haze, you can see his face. He is more beautiful than handsome, with sculpted features and an unnatural youthful complexion. His expression is sad. Harrow. Glory. The voice is deep but faint and marred by echoes. It sounds as if he's shouting from the far end of a long tunnel. You shouldn't have come here. I was content to let you live out your life in peace. I've come to put an end to this place, Harrow, this place and your pathetic, sickening cult. I don't want to kill you, Glory, and I won't unless you force my hand. The flickering silhouette spreads its arms wide. Ask me my protection, I will usher you out of this place. You can leave here still in peace. If you ask me politely, I might even let your friend leave with you. I won't abandon your victims here, Harrow. Not again. I'm going to burn this place to the ground. My only regret is that you aren't here in person to burn with it. The projection of Harrow sighs. A fight, then. Very well. The air all around him begins to pulse with scintillating bursts of color. His rippling, transparent form glows with heat from within. You brought this upon yourself. Okay. To me, there's nothing different between any of them. There he is. Weakened, the spirit's form flickers and sparks. The burning coals that cling to its body fall off in clumps, and its searing antlers begin to cool. The chorus of lilting voices warbles and shrieks as his body transmogrifies into something else. Through the haze, you can see Harrow's eyes go wide. At once, his rippling silhouette begins to fade back into the shadows whence it came. His body becomes insubstantial. Go ahead and run, you fucking coward. Run back to the real world and whatever hole you crawled out of. We'll catch you. Shadows in the shape of a man smile back at you. The distance in his voice has increased. It sounds like he's shouting from miles away. I don't think so. You don't even know who the real me is, Glory. Oh, don't worry. We'll find you. We're good at that sort of thing. The projection flashes you a condescending grin. Believe whatever you like, fool. It won't do you any good. Years from now, I'll still be doing what I do, and you will have accomplished nothing. Go ahead, Harrow. Try to set up another cult. You won't get far before I hunt you down. The projection chuckles. The sound is thin and hollow. You know better than that, but nothing makes me happier than the sound of you lying to yourself. Goodbye, Glory. The shadow slowly dissipates and Harrow is gone. Run, coward. Run far, far away. We'll find you. Glory continues staring for a long moment at the spot where the projection of Harrow vanished. Her expression is unreadable. Slowly she turns away. The spirit's writhing form continues its transformation. Twisted claws buckle, break, and reform. Charred bone begins to heal. The barnfire stench of it slowly dies away, replaced by an array of more pleasant smells: oak and pine and mineral oil, rustic feasts, and mulled wine. As it cools, the spirit raises its head. Its body is shaky as a newborn foal's. What has happened to us? You did what the adversary wanted you to do. Use your imagination. But we couldn't have. You don't get to run from this. You've committed unspeakable acts, Spirit, loathsome, unforgivable crimes. You have corrupted children, turned them into killers. You've been a party to violence, torture, and the desecration of corpses. You've created monsters. The Spirit cringes, shaking its head from side to side. It doesn't speak, but a low rumbling sound emanates from somewhere deep in its chest. Unpleasant to think about, isn't it? But you have to, Spirit. You can't run from what you've done. Your actions are a part of you, whether you like it or not. The rumbling sound turns into a tormented howl. The noise conjures images of mourning mothers and caged animals, screeching orphans and dying men. It is a sound of pure, unmitigated despair. Glory takes a step towards the giant creature. Listen to me, Spirit. I need your help. We're here to rescue the cultists of Feuerstel, the street kids whose minds you touched. We're getting them out of here before the adversary can do to them what it did to you. The Spirit stares at Glory for a long moment. Finally, it dips its head in a nod. Yes, we will help you. I'll be damned, something's gone right for a change. The Spirit bows its head. We have withdrawn ourselves from the minds of the people here. They are themselves again. Thank you. We'll take our leave of you now. The heart of Feuerstel heads jerk up. Bleh. And we try this again after a drink of something. The heart of Feuerstel's head jerks up in alarm. Wait, we wish to do more. We have much to atone for, as you said. Just what do you hope to do? Make amends, heal the sick and the wounded, bring them the succor of hearth and home, but we can do nothing without your help. We are still bound to the shrine, anchored here. We cannot leave without your assistance. Tell us what you need us to do. We need an appropriate vessel to carry us out of the rock, something touched by magic but more dead than alive. It dips its head. Do you have anything that can help us? Gingerly, she reaches up and wraps a hand around the protective ward that hangs around her neck. Yes, I think that I do. Say nothing. With a single motion, she snaps the chain. The pendant falls to the floor. The heart of Fierstale lowers its eyeless head, then traces an elaborate gesture in the air. A warm glow envelops it, and a similar glow spills from Glory. There is a bright flash, and the spirit is gone. Glory, are you okay? Slowly, she rises. She looks at you in the eye, a quizzical expression on her face. I can feel it. The spirit, it's bound to me now. So what does that mean for us? Can the spirit help us, like it said? See for yourself. She raises an arm and you feel a burst of warmth and comfort in your chest. It wants to help people, to heal them. It wants redemption just like I do. Together, maybe we'll find it. Behind your eyes, your vision starts to twist. It feels as though you're being turned inside out. Time to go. With the spirits linked to the adversary severed, the entire reality is falling apart. See you in the real world, Glory. Yeah, she offers you a grateful smile. I'll see you there. Slowly you swim back to consciousness. Struggling to your feet, you find Glory already standing and alert. I can feel them. The Spiro set them free, but they're trapped somewhere here in the complex. The initiates, you mean? Yes, and others. She surveys the room, a worried expression on her face. We need to find them and get them out of here. The connection between this compound and wherever we were is breaking down. As that place disintegrates, more and more things are spilling through. Like rats fleeing a sinking ship. She nods. Yeah, and it's only a matter of time before Fierstale is consumed too. Look in the corner there. You can already see it's happening. I'll take your word for it. Let's move. Damn it. As you kick the door open and stumble forward into the room, you find yourself surrounded by a sea of teenage faces. Initiates and acolytes huddled together and trembling. With the spirit's influence cleared from their minds, their swagger is gone. They look frightened and lost, like kids who have had their security blankets torn away. Glory, is that you? The acolyte is in his early 20s, close to Glory's age. His eyes are wide with astonishment. You don't know me, but I was a new initiate back when you lived here. When you were... She cuts in, but her voice is gentle. Yes, it's me. Come on, we're taking you to safety, someplace far away from here. A scrawny teenager in a ratty's coat stares at Glory's chrome, his mouth hanging slack. His voice cracks when he speaks. What happened to you? Your arms? Something that you'll never need to worry about. Come on, let's get the hell out of here. Couldn't have put it better myself. Come on, people, we're taking you someplace safe.